Yeah, so I have started the recording. Let me share my screen. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen, right? So last week we tried to do the form validation as well for JavaScript, right? There I have missed few things. Because of that we haven't completed it, but today we can complete it. Okay, so this was the form which we have designed earlier. So I'll explain that as well quickly. So yeah, so in the HTML we can see that we have a container where we have a form, and inside that form we have divs. Okay, basically for header one div is there, and for field one div, same thing for all of them, and at the end we have the div for the action. Okay, and for the action we are taking input tag as a submit button. Okay, because we want to submit the form. Okay, that's the reason. So yeah, and respective CSS we have added in the index.css. Okay, yeah. So after that, what we did is we have just taken out the references of each element whatever we want. Basically the text boxes and also the helper text where we are going to show the uh, basically error messages. Okay, that we have taken out here, and this is what it is. Okay, so now let's try to do a simple thing where we are going to click this register page, and it should register our details. Okay, something like this, and we have to do validation as well. But last time what where we have struck is once we click here it is refreshing our page. Okay, that we haven't fixed it. Okay, that we have to check it today. Let me just copy this to open another tab. Okay, so if I write my name here, and if I try to click register, you can see page was refreshed. Okay, so this should not happen. For that what we have to do is I'll show you. There are few methods. Okay, so either you can create a function. Okay, handle submit, I'll say. So whenever you submit it, this method will going to be handled. Okay, so this is going to be called. So this method, what we can do is in the form we can have like on submit, and we can provide it here. Okay, but if we do this with this on submit from here directly with this method, we can't make it not to refresh the page. Okay, so in that case what we have to do, we have to use add event listener. Okay, so let's see how we can use that. So let me just remove this function. So here I'll give a ID to this saying that my form. Okay, and here what we have to do is we have to use document.getElement by ID, and we have to get the reference of the my form. Okay, like this. Just a second. Someone message something. Screen please zoom. Okay, can you see it now? Okay, so now what we can do is we can write dot, and we have add event listener. Okay, this event listener we can take. This is something similar what we are doing here, but just that we have to mention here what we are doing. Okay, inside this, if I have the first parameter, this is a function only, function or method you can say. Inside that you will have two parameters. First parameter you have to pass it as what event you want to trigger, and second thing is what you want to handle. Okay, basically a function there. So in first you can select whatever event you want. Okay, there are all the events which you need. Okay, click event is there, blur, cancel, so many are there. Okay, but we are looking for submit. Okay, because we want to submit our form, that's why submit event I want, and comma, and here you can create a function. Okay, like this. Or what you can do is you can create a function in the bottom and just pass the function here. Okay, so let's do the other way. I'll create a function in the bottom, handle submit, and this function I'll pass it here. Okay, this way we can do it. And now see here, what we can do now is we can do e here, and after that e dot prevent default we can do. Okay, so now hopefully it should stop this page refreshing. Okay, let's check now. Let me add my name and register. Okay, now you see I'm clicking on register, the page is not refreshing, the values are still here. Okay, earlier what was happening is if we don't use add event listener, it is refreshing our page. Okay, that thing is not happening right now. Okay, because we have used add event listener instead of directly handling from the HTML. Okay, like on submit event or something like that. Okay, so at least we are able to stop this thing here. Okay, now the final thing comes, we have to handle the or validate the form. Okay, basically, so that we can do now I think. Okay, so let's do this. So the first thing, let's see are we getting the values first for all the items or not. Let's check it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just write logs. Okay, just console.logs I'll going to write fname dot value we have to write. Okay, because you see we are directly getting the reference, but we have to get the value. Okay, because whatever you type inside a text box, that will store inside the value attribute. Okay, that's why we need to access the value attribute here. Okay, same thing let's do for last name. Okay, dot value, and one more console I'll take email dot value. Just a second. Okay, email. And I think that's fine. Password will take it later. Okay, right now let's check these only things. Okay, now let me write it here. .com. Okay, and let me click register, and now you see we are able to see whatever coming, whatever we are typing inside the text box, we are able to pull it inside the JavaScript. Okay, so this is JavaScript right here, console. So we are able to get it from HTML to JavaScript. Now what we can do is we can easily validate it. Okay, so let's start writing the validation rules. Okay, so basically we are going to use if else conditions only. Okay, so that we can do. Let me just clear this. Let me go back. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, so any doubt so far, guys? Are you able to understand what I have showed? Is it clear, or you have any doubts? You can type it in the chat if you have any doubt.
Bro,
Yeah.
what topic you are explaining once, please?
I'm explaining the JavaScript, this thing, what do we say? Validation, form validation, JavaScript form validation we are checking. Like in the last session as well, we tried to do it, but there was a issue. Because of that, we haven't completed that time. So now we are completing that project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you show me the HTML.
Yeah, right here. So we have a form. where we are accepting like input, first name, last name, email, password, and the confirm password. Okay, and here is the register button. If you click on register button, it should validate all the inputs and register your user. Okay, something like that we are saying, but it will not going to register it, but we have to validate the inputs. Okay, all the inputs we have to validate.
So actually we are taking the HTML all the form and email and password everything, but without giving this email and password in the HTML,
Hmm.
but the whole thing we can do it in the JS.
No, I didn't get your point. What you said?
Without giving us that email and we are writing that input and all the things right in the HTML, but
Yes.
only we are taking the reference of that uh, HTML, the whole input and password, these all kind of things do it without writing in HTML. In the JavaScript, we can't do it in a dynamically.
No, I think we have to do it manually. All the things, like few of the things you can do, like if user is not providing any input right now, you see, I can click register button. Okay, it's not doing anything. Okay, there is a attribute in the input. You can write it as required. Okay, this is the one. Okay, if you write required, it means you have to give the value for the first name. Okay, so if I click register, it will show this thing. Please fill out the this field. Okay, so this is the one validation you can get from the HTML only. But the other validation, like what you want your form to be, that validation you have to write it here in this function. Basically what we are doing is, suppose if user comes here, user should not click register button directly. Okay, user should fill full whole form. Okay, like a name. Okay, name cannot be a. Okay, it should be more than 3 letters. Okay, so that kind of validation. Last name same. Email. Okay, it should contain it should contain a dot at least, and lastly we'll have .com, something like this. Okay, and password, if I write something here, and if I'm writing confirm password, both should be match. Okay, so these validation you have to do manually from your side, so that user should do or fill the form properly. Okay, that's the reason we are doing form validation. Is that what you are asking, Kiran? Or
Yes, sir. Uh, actually, I'm asking is if we are taking one particular data like name, phone number,
okay,
and these things
okay,
in Java. Only we are writing it in Java. If
JavaScript you mean?
yes, sir. Only JavaScript
This one
without
you are
writing
saying?
any HTML. Yes, sir. These all things we are writing only in the JavaScript. We are not getting from the HTML.
Okay.
Uh, like HTML, index HTML, and these things I'm asking. Without
No,
writing anything.
without writing these thing, how to get the data from HTML you are saying, right? Without writing this thing.
Without writing these things and not writing HTML also.
No,
The whole thing
if you
we
don't
have to.
write, no, if you don't write HTML, then
Mm,
how the form will be there? We have to
so
write HTML, right?
actually, I think few 1 week back and go back, I think Sir given me the whole thing, whole resume form, do it in dynamically without using any HTML tags elements.
Okay,
Only do it in a dynamically without writing any HTML tag.
okay.
If we write it like input and these things what you are saying right
Hmm.
now, without writing that HTML whole,
Hmm.
how can we write it and modify it by itself?
See, like I'll tell you one thing, okay? So if we say dynamically as well, suppose you want to add input tag dynamically on a button click on something, okay, so this particular line you should write somewhere in a string and append to the HTML, okay. So there is something we are writing HTML only, okay, we are just appending it from the JavaScript, that is a different thing. So what you are saying is these all things should happen dynamically, right? Like in the resume case, right, Kiran, in the resume case, suppose you are going to build a resume template, okay, for people who want to use your website. What they will going to do is they'll select what they want to add. They want to add like an order list with some list of item, that kind of thing we can do from JavaScript. But right now this is a form, okay. If you are doing a login form, this dynamic thing will not going to work, like dynamic HTML, okay. But you are making some project where you have to like write some things here, like you give your data and that should render the HTML, okay. That's a different project you are saying, okay. So that is possible,
Okay.
but not 100%, like you don't need to write anything. You have to write it, but inside the JavaScript as a string format. Then you have to append that HTML to the actual HTML file, okay. That's how the thing will work,
Okay, sir, we got it.
okay. Okay, so we can move forward. We can start with the first name, okay. So let's do it here. So what I'll do is first name will say here, first name validation. So I'll do first thing is here is f name dot value dot length, okay. So hopefully you guys know what length will do. Length will give us whatever length is coming inside the string or the input tag, string of the length, okay, basically character length. So length should not be less than 3, I am saying, okay, here. So if it is less than 3 or equal to 3, then what it will do is it will throw us a error, okay, and it will not going to submit this form, okay. So how to stop this function? Okay, suppose I am writing console here, okay, I am writing hi, okay. I'll show you what exactly I mean by stopping this function to go further. But see here, so for the first name we have this helper text, right? For this what I'll do here is, if suppose first name is less than 3 characters, that time I will append one text to this, okay, inner HTML equal to, here I'll write it as what do we say, please provide more than 4 characters or 3 characters, okay. Okay, so this is the message I gave, and this is the if condition, okay. Now I'll show you the problem, what the problem we have here. Let me just refresh it. I'll just do IL, okay, and let's click register, and now you see it's giving us message, and again it is going inside, like after that it's saying hi as well, okay. But what we have to do is we have to stop this to not to go to the other things, okay, because like suppose what I'll do is else I'll write, or else if I'll write, okay. So it should not check else if and all, okay. So basically let's write f name dot value dot length, okay. We don't need to do, I guess, else if, only else is fine, right? And here I'll do f name helper dot inner HTML, I'll make it empty, okay, like this, or maybe like, yeah. So now what I can do here is inside the if condition I'll write return false, okay. So what this return false will do is it will stop our function to go to the next line, okay, means next code, okay. So if I write again console hi, now it will not going to print console hi because it is stopping or ending our function right here, okay, because I return false here, okay. That's the reason. Let's check it again, okay. So I'll say I'll just say and register, and now you see we are not able to see console here, okay. It just showed us please provide more than 3 characters, okay. So this is what this is how we can end our function in between the process, okay. And we can write the same logic for last name. I'll just remove this, and this will be last name. Okay, and again this will be not fully what do we say, complete validation. Okay, it's just like basic validation. Okay, we are doing only simple things. The advanced level of validation comes from the regex. Okay, regex is something where you have a pattern. If user is not providing the text in that pattern, then we have to show the error. Okay, so let's check it here. Okay, if I do il and some other text, and it's giving for this, and it's not going to give for this because we are stopping the function. Okay, now in this case we should not stop it, so we'll just do return false, and it will show us for both of them. Okay, now you see, yeah, so please provide more than 3 characters, and for both it's giving. Okay, if let's say if I provide more characters, now it's not showing us. Okay, so our form is happy. So this is how we are doing for first name and last name. Okay, this is, and if you want to add more things inside this, right, you can start writing from like else if, and you can write it here. Okay, and you can provide the this thing. But again what I'll do is I'll do else if to this. Okay, and here I'll create if condition again, because I want to check if there is a text inside that or not. Okay, value dot length triple equal to empty, or this one. Okay, so this value should not be empty here. Okay, so then what I will do is I'll do the same thing, fname dot helper underscore helper dot inner text inner html, and field should not be empty, I'll say. Okay, and the same thing I'll do for this as well, last name. I'll name that value equal to empty. Acha, can anyone explain why we are using triple equal to? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, somebody was explaining. Yep, it will check both value and type as well. Yeah, right. Okay, so you can see here, let me refresh again. Now if I don't add any value and try to click on register, it will say as field should not be empty. Okay, so this is the validation we have did for first name and last name. Okay, let's do for email as well. Okay, so you see it's a little bit messy, like we are writing if else condition so many times, but yeah, we have to do it because at the first we have to do this, but whenever whenever we are familiar with the regex, right, that time it will be easy. That time there will be only one condition, if and else. Okay, that's it, everything will be managed in the single line only. Okay, that we will see later, because that's a again one crash course I can say, because regex is very important thing as well. Okay, so yeah, let's say email, and I'll say email dot value triple equal to empty, and email helper dot inner text inner html, and it will be field should not be empty here as well. Okay, and let's say else if. Okay, so what will be the next condition? Okay, so I'll say email dot value dot includes. Okay, or to string I'll say first dot includes, and inside that I'll say @. Okay, so what I am saying here is email should have @. Okay, if it is not having @, then I am not going to accept it. Okay, so this will going to give us true if it is there. Okay, if it is not there, then it will going to give us false. Okay, that's why we have to do exclamation mark here, because whenever it is there, it should give us reverse output. Okay, That's the reason I'm giving this one here. Okay. Suppose if it is giving false, okay, if we don't provide it, it will give us false, then it will be false, right? It will not go inside else if, okay, but we have to make it true. That's why I'm using not here. So not will convert false to true, true to false, okay, and then we can go inside this. Okay, someone texted something.
Sir,
Yeah, Kiran.
toString is a method, string methods.
Yeah, it's a string method to convert into string. Because what happen is, here it will be string only, email dot value. Okay, but sometime what will happen is these methods are there, right? Includes or some other methods that will not going to take sometimes. Okay, because I don't know what will happen with the JavaScript sometime, but it will not catch these methods. Okay, that's why we have to use first toString, then we have to use this sometimes only. Okay, not every time, with the fields only I'm saying. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Got it, right? Yeah. Anyone know what includes will do? Having that special or not, it will check a special character. Yeah, it will check basically any character which you provide inside this. It will check if it is contains or not. Okay, basically that one. So yeah,
Specific string or element.
yeah, it will check. Okay, so this is the one, and then else I'll say email helper dot inner html will be empty, because else we are saying true. Okay, and you can add more conditions here. Okay, like you can check like the end items, like do we have .com or not at the end, something like this you can do. So let's check once if it is working properly or not. So I'll do empty. All are coming field should not be empty. I'll say I'll provide the details. Okay, icubecode .gmail.com. I'll say I'm not providing @. Let's see what will happen. Now you see, please provide a valid email, it's saying. Okay, now if I provide @ here, now it's not giving us error. Okay, so this validation is working fine. Okay, uh, yeah, so this is the email. Now let's check the password. Okay, and again password validation is very important. Okay, so right now as we are doing basic, right, we are going to check if the password is greater than 8 characters or not. Okay, and we are not going to check the other conditions. Okay, basically what are the condition is, it should have a capital, small, any of the special character, and a number. Okay, so this is the best practice of a password. It should contain these many letters and have the 8 plus characters. Okay, but right now we are not going to check all of this. We are going to only check the 8 character length. Okay, so let me write this password dot value triple equal to empty. It should not be empty first thing, then else if here we can check password dot value dot length less than 8. Okay, if it is less than 8 we will show error, else we are not going to say anything. Okay, so I'll just copy this thing from here, password, and same thing I'll take here, and field name, please provide password. Password should contain, okay, sorry, password should contains more than 8 characters. Okay, and the last one will be nothing, because else we are saying it's we are good to go. Okay, so let's check it again. So I'll provide the proper details here. and let's see this one. Okay, it's not complaining basically. It's password only right here. Password dot value. Okay, I just provided a few, but it's not giving. Okay, this is wrong. Yeah, this should be password helper. This is password helper. Okay, I provided wrong. Now it should work. Let me provide the details again. One, two, three, four, and yeah, now you see it's giving us this error. If I don't give anything, it will say field should not be empty. And let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now it's not complaining. Okay. So it means the basic validation for password is working. Okay. Now the next one we have is confirm password. Okay. So confirm password will have the same things, just that we have to check if the password is matching to the above password, like actual password. Okay. So that we have to check it. I'll just copy paste the whole thing. Confirm password, and here. Okay, so this will be the C password we have, and here as well C password helper. Actually these names I have defined here. Okay, C password helper, C password. Okay, right. So first thing what it's saying, password should not be empty, and it should not be less than 8, should contain more than 8 characters. And here I'll create one more else if, where I will check password dot value triple equal to C password dot value. Okay, and if it should not be empty, okay, if not equal to same thing, then I'll show a message here. Okay, password mismatch. Okay, password is not matching, we can say. Okay, let's see now. So let's provide name, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. 1, 2. Okay, let's check this normal way. So field should not be empty. 1, 2, 3. If I say, it's saying 8 characters. Now let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 I'm saying. Okay, double time 8 I have given. Now it's saying password is not matched. Let's say 9 now. Now it's not complaining. Okay, so this is how we have done our form validation. Okay. Yep. So this is it, guys. This is what we have done. Any questions you guys are having on this?
Sir, actually you mentioned
Yes, Kiran. What you said?
as you mentioned already, it is not, sir, inaudible.
No, not properly actually.
Okay. So
Yeah. Anyone having any questions, guys? From this or from any other things? So hopefully you
You want to
can.
explain
Yeah.
JavaScript, no?
Okay.
The size is small.
I think in this screen you can see small, right? Can you just make
Yeah.
it like this, like you just off this message or something? At least it will be like this. I don't know this Google Meet, what we can do. I'll just pull it, this thing here,
A little more. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing, the HTML you have saw. Okay. So here
Yeah.
what we did is we have this input tags. For their each unique ID I am taken as reference. Okay, with the unique names, so that we can get the value. Okay, so these are the input fields, our input fields. Okay, input fields, and here you see these things. these are the helper text. Okay, helper text, I'll show it in the HTML first. So all the input tags below there is a span tag. Okay, so it's in the red color actually, everywhere you can see. So these span tags are there, and that span tag has a unique ID, and that IDs I'm taking the reference of them here. Okay, so I'm telling that as helper text. Okay, so it will help user to understand what is wrong in the form. Okay, basically, so these all the helper text. Now here you see we have this my form. Okay, my form is our form, our HTML form this here, and we are taking it a ID to that form, and then we are using like we are taking the reference of this form and we are applying the add event listener. Okay, so what is the add event listener? Add event listener will add the event to the ID, okay, or the tag, HTML tag. So here what we have to do is, the first thing we have to provide the what type of event you want. Okay, so we are using a form, so form should not be click event. Okay, form is the submit event. Okay, if you are taking ID of a button, then you can have click or like a mouse over something like this. Okay, but we are taking form, it means we need to have submit event here. Okay, then comma, then you have to provide your method, what kind of method or the function you want to run whenever the form submits. Okay, I want to run this particular form. Okay, that's why I am providing this function name here. Okay, that's what I'm doing. And if you don't want to do this, you can do a arrow function here. Okay, just parenthesis, arrow and curly braces, and you can start writing your function here, like whatever you want to do inside this. Okay, but I did in this way. Anyone is fine. Okay, it will not going to make any change, just it will be fine. So once we did here, so what will happen is, whenever I click on this register button, which is this input tag, it will run or submit our form. Okay, so whenever it submits our form, it will going to run this particular function, which is handle submit, because we already told that this is our event. Okay, so now let's see what we are doing the first. Okay, so first thing we are doing, we are taking the event. Okay, event is something which will provide the entire thing or entire JavaScript which is behind the form, right, inside this event. Okay, and e dot prevent default we are using. So what is the reason of using this?
One second, bro. Here E is event,
Yes.
variable name.
This is a parameter. You can write event
Sorry,
as well.
parameter name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either it can be anything. Okay, generally we use e or event, but you can write your name as well. Okay, it will not going to complain anything, but that's just parameter name. Okay, you can write anything. So from this event we are using prevent default a method. Okay, the reason we are using this, because what will happen generally is, when you submit a form, it will refresh the page. Okay, but we want to stop it from the refreshing it. Okay, so right now if I go here, if I write something and if I click register, it's still here, the value is still here. Okay, if we don't use event dot prevent default, it will refresh the page. We can't see the error as well, we can't see the value as well. Okay, that's the reason we don't want to do this. That's the reason we are using event dot prevent default. Okay, e dot prevent default. Okay, that's what we are
It's
using.
predefined method, bro.
Prevent default.
Prevent default is the predefined.
Yeah, predefined method. It's in the event. It will be in the event.
User defined or predefined?
Predefined. User defined is this one. We defined it, right? Handle submit. This is the predefined. So it will stop the browser to refresh whenever the form is submit. Okay, that's what it is doing here. Okay, got it right till this point?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have started our validations here. What we are doing basically is, we are fname.value. Okay, what is the fname.value means? If I write anything here, this value we have inside this text box. Okay, so let's try to see this one. Okay, basically it's not showing inside the DOM, but what will happen is, we'll have a value tag here, and inside that value it will going to have this particular thing. Okay, so basically what we are doing is, whatever you write inside this, we have to grab it. Okay, how we are grabbing it is with the reference. Okay, fname is our reference to the text box and dot value we are using. So with that help you can get the fname, first name, into the JavaScript. Okay, and here the first thing we are checking, it should not be empty. Okay, if it is empty, we are saying show this particular message. Okay, and then what we are doing is we are again having one more validation, saying that like fname dot value dot length. Okay, length will provide us the character length, and we are saying it should not be less than 3. Okay, and if it is less than 3, then we have to show this error message. Okay, so suppose if it is passing these two things, then it is coming into the else condition. In the else condition we are just making it empty. Okay, because if suppose it will is already filled with something. Okay, so here it will make it empty. Okay, so that we should not show anything here. Okay, so that's what these three things are doing. The same thing we are doing for the last name as well. It should not be empty, it should not be less than 3 characters, and it should yeah, only 2 things. And if it passed 2 things, then we are making it free. Okay, we are making it the error message empty. Okay, that's what the last name is happening here. Then we have the email also we have done the same thing, like it should not be empty. That is the first condition. The second condition, what we are doing is like we are doing very less conditions. First of all, okay, here we are only checking the rate. We can check the other things like length, we can check do we have the .com in it or not. So many things will be there. Okay, but right now only one condition. And here you see this particular thing, what we are doing, email.value, which will give us the email, and we are converting it to the toString, and then we are using the includes method. Include methods, what it will do is it will search the string. Okay, whatever string you provide here, it will search it and give you the true and false value, if it is exist or not. Okay, so right now if it is exist means true. Okay, if it is true, then only it should go inside this. But what we want is, if it is giving false, then we have to go inside that time what we have to do is we have to use not, so that it converts the false value to the true value and it go inside this. Okay, basically because it should be true, right? It will else if will check if it is true only, then it will say that go inside that. Okay, but what we have to check is if the value is coming false, we have to convert into true, and then we have to go inside this and say the error message like please provide the valid email, like this. And if it is passing these two things, we have to show empty, error empty. Okay, this is the email part. Then password. Okay, password also we are doing the empty check, it should not be empty. And then what we are doing is password.value.length should not be less than 8 characters. Okay, that's what
Yes,
we are doing.
got it. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, every line after if else inner HTML you are using, no, bro.
Yeah.
Without inner HTML, we can't execute that statement.
Yeah, we have to show because see here we have the span tag. This is the empty span
Yes.
tag. Okay, we have to fill with a value. So we using the inner HTML, we can fill the value. So what exactly happening, we can show user like what user is doing wrong. If user didn't provided the value, we are saying please like field should not be empty, so that user should
We
enter
are
something.
connecting bro, 1 minute.
Yeah.
We are connecting HTML and JavaScript with through inner HTML, right?
No, we are connecting with the reference. This reference
Yeah,
is there.
sorry.
Yeah, reference we are
Reference
connecting.
variable, I think so.
Yeah. Inner HTML, we are just injecting the value, injecting the text inside the span tag.
Okay, every span tag.
Every point, wherever the checks is happening, if the checks is coming true, like if it is password empty, that time we want to show this. That time it will inject this using inner HTML into this span tag. That we are doing.
Okay, bro. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Hopefully it is clear for everyone. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. What information user come for login and forgot his password? He is going to get his password by clicking on forgot password. How can we do it, sir? Kiran, actually these all things, right? I'll tell you it will take lot of time to understand, okay, because we need to be understanding the front end as well as the back end as well, okay, because see, if you are saying user is coming in login, okay, how he will going to log in? Kiran, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I can hear.
So how a user is login? Can you tell me? With a email and password, right?
He is
And
going to get that by database server.
database and server,
He has
right?
that.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you one thing. What will happen? If we click on forget password, we'll send a link to him, okay, to his email, okay. Basically email you will get, and there will be a link. You click on that link and you will open, like it will open a page where you have to again enter your new password, okay. So what it will does at that time is you are entering your new password, and once you click change password, it will going to replace in the database what is your current password with the new password, okay. That's what it will going to happen, okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Got it.
It is going to be replaced. Yeah. That's my question actually.
Yeah. Katyani, toString generally, if you know, right, we can use for casting, like basically number you want to convert into string, that time we can do. But sometime in the JavaScript, what will happen is you will find it, okay. Basically, if suppose right now I was using includes method, right, sometime what will happen is includes method doesn't exist, something like that will come, okay, because it will not consider the email dot value, suppose some string as a string, okay. That time we have to explicitly say that this is the string, okay. So that time you can use dot toString and then continue it with the any other method, okay. I'm just giving the example for includes, but it can happen sometimes, okay. Whenever it happen, you will see a error inside your console that particular method is doesn't exist or something. That time what you have to do is you have to just write beside that method toString, okay, and you are good to go then, okay.
We have that unique string. We can fetch it from here. If we have a not if you don't have particular thing to identify, we can go through that DOM, and location is there, right? Location or ID. Some ID is going to be there in the DOM.
Forget password you're saying?
No, not forget password. If you go to that mail set toString.
Okay, here you're saying.
Yes, sir. We are giving this at the rate because unique emailer we have that unique at the rate. We can grab it from there. Identify email have at the rate. But suppose we have another thing.
Yeah, what is the
another thing? Like some ID or anything.
Yeah, see, I'll tell you one thing, okay, I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, I got your point. See, email as well right now, if you say, I'll do this, I'll again enter some details, okay, random details I'm entering. Here I'll say, @ID. See, email, @ID, okay. If I register it, it's not complaining. See, I clicked register, it's not complaining. So we are not checking all the things here, okay. Basically, it should check before, like after before everything, at the end as well. .co, .com, .something, that should it also check it, okay. When it will happen with this logic, right, with this kind of thing, we can't do, like we can do it, but it will be a very big process to do with the if else conditions, okay. So there is a very good method which we can do, okay, regex, okay. So 101 regex is something where you can practice it, but what is regex and all, I'll going to show basically like after some time, like when you are good in the JavaScript, okay. because it's a very advanced topic, how exactly things will work and all. Okay, I'll just show one thing. Okay, here I'll do 0 9. Okay, now you see I have given some string. What I'm saying here is 0 to 9. Okay, I am accepting only 0 to 9 numbers. Okay, if I provide any string here, it will not going to accept it. Not like this. If I do 1 2 3, you will see. You see some this what do we say? Color is coming right on top of this. It means it's matching it. Okay, if I provide text, it's not matching it. Okay, so this is called as regular expressions. Okay, regex regular expressions. So this kind of thing we can use. So now you see if I do a-z and now you see it's coming blue color for this 1 2 3 4, it will not going to give us. Okay, so this is something which we have to use to properly validate. Okay, it will not going to validate only string or text, it will exactly validate what exactly you want. Okay, that it gmail.com, or before that some text should be there or something like that. Okay, so this regular expression is a very big topic which we're going to do few days after. Okay, but not right now. But with that, right, it will be very much simplified. Okay, everything you can do.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. I understand.
Okay, if you don't have any questions, guys, we can, I think, wrap up the session.
Sir, actually, I have.
Yeah, yeah.